Hey, welcome to your Sagittarius horoscopes for the first week of October, 1st through the 7th. Not a whole lot going on in Sagittarius this week. No moon action even. Focus is on self. It's all about you guys. Again, this week. Just keeps on going and going and going. Well, of course, it's not going to keep on going forever, but focus does continue to be on self. And I feel like this week's focus really is on self-improvement. There's been a lot going on astrologically, regardless of whether you have planets in Sagittarius or not. You got to be feeling it coming from all the different directions. We just got out of a Mercury retrograde a couple of weeks ago, which I don't know about you guys, but it was pretty brutal. I have to say, there's just a whole lot of stuff coming up with that one. There was a Leo retrograde, which was pretty brutal as well. A whole lot of stuff coming up around that one. We still have 5 planets in retrograde. So, with everything that's going on around you, a lot of times to me, focus on self is about self care, but it's also about reconstruction of self in many ways. We can never improve enough when you think about it. I tend to look at it as we improve what we improve when we're ready to accept and improve it, if that makes sense. And the first thing, of course, that we have to do is admit that we have a problem, right? Or admit that we have an issue or we have something that we need to fix about ourselves. That is actually the hardest part of the whole process, is that admitting that we have something that needs to be fixed. For example, I tend to procrastinate like a lot. I really do. It's a horrendous bad habit. And it's not just because I don't want to do it or anything like that. There's just so many things going on in my life that, things tend to be put on the back burner, right? And then eventually all of the stuff that's on the back burner is like in this humongous pile. And I'm like, oh, I got to clean that before it falls over and buries somebody, right? So by understanding that this is a pattern that I have created, that is the first step towards me actually doing something about it. And not just cleaning up the mess that I created, but eliminating the pattern, realizing that this is a pattern, putting these things on the back burner, saying, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not following through with this pattern anymore, and making the change. Which means that from here on out, the theory is that I procrastinate less. Doesn't mean I'm never going to procrastinate again. I mean, that could be true. I'm not saying that that isn't possible, but the reality is that we're trying to get to a point where we're just procrastinating less than we did before. That's all. So self-improvement really is just that. It's not about looking yourself in the mirror and nitpicking on every bad thing about yourself, but we all have good parts and bad parts. Let's celebrate the good and do something about the stuff that's holding us back, because that's what the bad parts do. They just get in the way of you making a success of your life from here on out. And why would you want anything to get in your way, especially something that you have control over? In a world full of crap that we have no control over, you definitely want to focus on fixing the things that you do have control over. That's always the first step towards fixing the problems that you don't have control over as well, because you may not be able to fix the problem, but you can definitely look at the problem in a completely different way, and that helps a lot. Trust me, it really does. It really makes a difference between having any kind of influence over it or not, and that is a big deal. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description and send me a copy. I would greatly appreciate the support. If you're listening rather than viewing, that's ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic. Also check out heavymetalpsychic.com. It's about to become a completely different website here in a couple of weeks. So check it out so you can be wowed and amazed at the new version that's coming out here in a couple of weeks. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys Make it a great week. Take control of you and your power, and the sky's the limit. Do something amazing with it. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great one, you guys.